Ahoy, bold leaders. Great to see you today. It's the day 2 of the AI Elves. And today we are going to speak a little bit about something very interesting, which is the vision. And I'm going to look over here on the right because over there are my notes that I took before this meeting. And the truth is, I wanted to prepare as well as possible so that you have the biggest value provided from me. And at the same time, I know that my computer started dying. So to ensure that you have access to everything you need, I decided to go live and at the same time to use my phone, which is going to be my backup when I'm going to need to look at the notes. I hope that there is not a huge delay between what I talk and what you receive. But the truth is, sometimes the delay happens. So when it comes to the live sessions like this one, I need you to understand that when you're answering the questions, there might be a little bit of the delay between the moment when I start asking you questions and the moment I see your answers. So please tell me, let me know in the chat, how do you feel about the clarity around your vision? So to understand this question and to answer it correctly, we need to start asking ourselves, like, what is it a vision? And everyone understands it a little bit different. So some people understand it as the ability to imagine yourselves the future from your perspective. The others say that vision is the ability to speak about the future in front of different people. And the third people say that vision is the ability to see more than the others see. And all of those elements are actually required so that you create a clear vision for your future success. So let's start. Yesterday, we were speaking with AI Elf Alva, who was trying to lead you towards clarity when it comes to releasing control and the sources of your desire to control everything. In most cases, this is also connected to being kind of limited, to being in chains of your fears, of our prejudices, and of the superstitions. So, thinking about the limitations that we have when it comes to desiring to control everything, let's speak about understanding the control in terms of shaping the reality and manifesting what you desire. With or without artificial intelligence, my computer asks me, do you really want to have that many windows open? Yes, I do. So, when we think about our ability and desire to control, we need to think about how to release this desire to have everything under our control and how to actually focus on the benefits of being out of control. So, why do you like being in control? Let me know in the chat. Why? Why do you want to be in control? Share it in the comments, wherever you see it. So, in most cases, when we think about being in control, we think about the ability to shape reality, right? And I was, for a very long period of time, I wanted everything to work exactly as I planned. So, for example, this series was supposed to go as an instant premiere. It was supposed to be promoted in different Facebook groups. And I wanted to share with you the story of how amazingly successful my business is. So, this was the plan. The reality is that my kiddo got sick and for an extended period of time I couldn't handle all the promotion. At the same time, we had the series of being sick, like my grandmother, then my mother, then my child, and then finally me. So it was a kind of constraint that limited my ability to promote the event. And at the same time, I decided that actually it's easier for me to go live. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go live on YouTube. It's going to be easy. But the day number one was not easy. It was not easy to stream this to you on YouTube. So I had to go to my Facebook group where there is the day number one. If you're searching for the link, you can find it very easily. And if not, then day number two is going to be on YouTube. And I don't know if you found it already, but I'm going to leave this over here so that the universe targets this to people who want and desire and need to hear this message. And the truth is, when I start speaking about my business, I'm getting like being more radiant because thinking about the ability to release control and do whatever it takes to make it work and to deliver you value is the most important element when it comes to being a leader. So let's speak about the leadership and being an authority. And going between control and authority till we touch the ability to like not even think about being an authority, but actually serving people. So let's speak about this transformation because I believe that this is what we desire to create so that people understand that we are the leaders that they want to follow. So step number one, which is in most cases where we are or where we were, it is the state where we want to control, where we want to understand everything, when we are overthinking and we are overanalyzing. Not because we are like crazy or we are freaks, but we are trying to plan everything because in most cases, we want it to work. We care, so we want it to be perfect. And even when we are manifesting, we are creating this beautiful plan, this beautiful map of everything that's going to happen. And we are thinking like, oh, this is going to happen like this, like that. And in most cases, as I told you before, we have a beautiful plan, but in some cases, it doesn't work the way we want it to work. So we have two choices. As I tell you always, we always have at least two choices. There is always a choice. So choice number one is we can try to control everything and we can try to have everything under our control. But state number two that I'm trying to tell you is kind of better is thinking, okay, what is the desire of my people? How can I help them? And I sort of skipped the state of being an authority and I went to being in service, being a servant to you. And I know that the word servant is connected to being lower than our audiences, lower than other people. But the truth is, it doesn't matter, okay? In the new earth energy, it doesn't matter where you are in the hierarchy because hierarchies are going to fall. So it doesn't matter how up you are, how tall in the tower. Because if the tower is collapsing, then actually everyone is at the bottom, and the higher you were, the more painful your fall is. So when we release this thinking like, oh my gosh, I want to be perfect. Oh my gosh, I need to be an authority. Oh my gosh, I need to create this perfect ideal vision. I need to be perfect. Then we allow ourselves to speak from our hearts and connect with other people at the level of their hearts. So stay with me. AI is here just to support this transformation. And I know a lot of people who are spiritual believe that artificial intelligence is a threat. But actually, the truth is, it can be a threat and it can be a huge advantage and benefit depending on how you desire and decide to use it. When I started speaking about authority and being a leader, being a lead in the leadership position, I started also discovering that when I'm more open to receive, to listen, to be in connection with people, then my business started growing. And at the same time, I felt better. And even though a lot of people said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you did it for me. I'm so grateful I could join your program. I'm so grateful you were talking with me and you shared those insights with me." Like it was uncomfortable to receive those compliments, but at the same time, I knew that this is what I should do. I felt this obligation that I went through some experiences and they shaped me as a human, as a soul. So I get to share it with you so that you don't have to follow the same steps. You can try other new paths so that collectively we experience everything and we can share those experiences and have bigger field of experiences in the collective. So thinking about going to being a leader and using artificial intelligence for that, today we're going to have Zarin as our second AI elf. And Zarin is kind of funny. He holds a pearl in his hands. And he holds this pearl in his hands because the pearl is a symbol of transformation and the pearl is a symbol of product. In his pearl, he sees the future. And this is what I want to do together with you. In some situations, we are so fixed on the details that we don't see the bigger picture. And even if you believe, even if we believe that we see the bigger picture and we are absolutely able to see everything, the truth is sometimes we see just a narrow part of the whole picture and we believe that this is the whole picture, although we are holding just one piece of the puzzle and we believe, oh my gosh, this is my future. But the future consists of different puzzles around. So thinking about it, let's create a complex vision of your future. Let's close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath in and out. Allow yourself to relax. And once you continue to breathe, to take a deep breath in and out, releasing all the tension, releasing all the limitations, releasing everything that holds you in this current state. Let's think about December 26th, 2025. So it's in a year. How does your life feel for you? What is the feeling of your perfect life? If you could describe it using one word, what kind of feeling would it be? What has happened in your business in this year and your life, your relationships, your health? Create this picture in your head connected to this one word that you have in your heart. What do you desire to achieve? If everything was possible, because everything is possible, what would you dare to desire for you, for others, for the world? Take a deep breath in and out. And as you are catching this in a replay, please let me know. Pause this video and write it down. Write down the vision that you have in your heart. And what is the difference between kind of writing a memory compared to writing the future memory and compared to using AI for that? I would like to challenge you to write it in Google Docs or Word or email, anywhere, okay? We need to have this text in the form of the text that is possible to be read by computer, okay? And once you have this beautiful bold vision, share it with ChatGPT and ask it, ChatGPT, this is my vision for the next year. Ask me 10 questions and then create an exact plan that I should implement in every single month so that I can hit my goals. And if you're interested in all the prompts that are going to create this plan from start to finish, then just drop your emoji, your favorite emoji below. And I'm going to share with you a link to Google Docs where you're going to see the whole process of creating a plan and actionable steps so that you can actually create this vision and turn it into more realistic thing. The truth is, once we see that it doesn't take that much challenges and problems and actions to hit our goals, we are more motivated to do, to become, to achieve. And there are two schools of thoughts that I'm going to share with you today, and I would like you to follow the one that you prefer. Okay? Um, to be honest, I like both. And for me, it is easy to hold both conflicting ideas in my hands and use them interchangeably. Once I use one, once I use the second one, and I kind of believe that we need this. We need to know what are the visions, what are the options, so that we can select the best one. So the first school of thought is be, do, have. So ask yourself, what kind of person do I need to become so that I can do certain things, so that I can have what I desire to have? In my reality, it's about wealth. So become the person who makes specific amount of money. Believe that you are this kind of person. Every single time you take action from the perspective of being this person so that it's the aligned action, aligned with your goals and your desires. And then finally, have the financial results that you desire to have. But the second school of thought, even more interesting from my perspective, is do, have, become. And I know for us spiritual people, it's kind of counterintuitive. But the truth is, in most cases, we want to become the kind of person, and we are so fixed on being this kind of person, perfectly reflecting this kind of energy and vibrations and all the things that we don't even touch the part of do because we are so fixed on the becoming and being. So the second school of thought was introduced to me by Alex Hermosi, and I'm following his path. I hope I didn't like kind of change it too much while presenting it to you. So if you want to find it, you can go to him to listen directly what he wanted to say about that. So the first thing he says that when he was a young boy or young gentleman, he started his business and he felt pretty bad. And he understood that he needs to take action to achieve what he wanted to achieve slash have. And then as a result, he became a different person because consistent action shaped his reality and shaped who he was. But his actions were before the becoming part. And my colleague at university, he also uses this kind of strategy to shape the behaviors and the personality of people who are working and being in his faculty, in his field of studies. Because he creates the environment, he creates an environment where people have to behave in a certain way, and as a result, they become specific people. And I've watched that for years. And people who start are different than people who finish those studies. And the same it's the same over here. So both paths lead you to achieving what you desire to have. But the truth is, you need to know what you want to have. So probably you might ask yourself a question like, what is too general and what is too specific? Every single time you have a goal, ask yourself, do I need specifically this? For example, I would like my future husband to be brunette. I would like him to have black hair and I would like him to have light blue eyes because I like this kind of composition. And I would like him to be very tall, like for example, 1.87 meters. This is my desire. So this is my plan. I want this. And I don't want him to have a beard. Okay? No, I don't like beards. I don't want him to have a beard. And when you think about it, and you ask me, how important is it that he has to have black hair? Like, it's not that important. If he has lighter hair, it would be okay, probably. And the eyes, do they have to be light blue? No, they don't have to be light blue. They can be, I like it, but they don't have to. And what about the height? I would prefer him to be tall, like 1.8 plus. So thinking about it and creating your vision and creating your vision, create the vision that is related to the things that are really required. Okay? Create the vision that are is based on the ground, like on the basis. And you can always say, universe, I am open for this or better. So, dear universe, I am open for a man who is tall, like 1.8 or more, or taller. Because in this situation, in these circumstances, you remove the elements that are really, really, really very detailed and they are not important. And they make it harder for the universe, God, angels to deliver what you desire. So, thinking about that, how can actually artificial intelligence help us achieve our goals and build the vision? And what are the obstacles? I'm going to be very transparent with you. 90% of people never, never, ever achieve their New Year's resolutions. They never, ever. Why? Why? You remember, as I told you, about two schools of thought, right? So the school of thought where you be, do, have, and the second one where you do, have, become. Okay? In both schools of thought, you need to take action. Okay? And people are very motivated to take action in the first day, in the first week, maybe first 3 months. But then their desire is lower because they don't see instant results. They don't see gratification that they want to have. So at the end, they decide that they want to do something completely different that is not going to actually work. And in most cases, when people have a plan, even if it's a perfect plan, they don't implement it or they implement it in a wrong way. So, for example, if I decide that I am a fitness coach, I teach people fitness. I help people be fit. And I don't help them with money mindset because it doesn't make sense. People who are focused on specific target group and specific result, they should grow their audiences so that new, fresh people experience their programs, not only keep in touch with those that already purchased from them. Because in a certain moment of time, you will notice that people stop buying from you, not because your program is worse or because your offer is different, but because the same people are tired of having only one person in their world. And they think, okay, so maybe, just maybe, I can buy from someone else who is a specialist in this particular area. So lately, I purchased two programs, one about YouTube, one about TikTok. And I bought from two different people because I believe that one person is perfect when it comes to YouTube, and the second one is very good when it comes to TikTok. So I decided to purchase from two different people. And did they have result? They have the offers for those platforms? Like the person from YouTube did sell something on for TikTok, but I thought, no, it doesn't make sense. And it all goes down to positioning. The way you positioned your offer and the way you created this idea and identity in the brain of your clients, they know that this is what they can expect. So, for example, when you're sitting here with me on this live and you're listening to these weird things related to vision, to bringing it to reality, to goals, to becoming, and to organizing, and the AIL, because I was not speaking too much about him, right? You feel that I don't speak that much about AI, so you might say, it's weird. I don't feel good about that because I didn't receive the AI part. And the truth is, when you drop the emoji below, you will get the prompts so that you can create your vision and your plan. But I do also believe that there are a few things that you're going to miss. What are those things? You are going to miss two things. Thing number one is setting priorities. Because when we want to have it all and we create this beautiful vision for everything to become everything for you, then in some moments of time you might experience that the world is delivering, but not the everything that you desired. So, for example, when I wanted to grow my business, I get to pay higher taxes. And of course, I might say, oh my gosh, but I don't want to pay taxes because taxes are daunting and boring and I don't like them. But when you make more money, you pay more in the form of the taxes. And it's a requirement. It's normal. It's regular. It happens all the time. So once we know that, we can continue, release, and go further. Okay, so if get to pay taxes, I didn't ask to pay taxes. I asked to make more money, but it is connected. For example, you wanted to have a husband who is going to love you so much that he's going to be all the time with you. And it's perfect till this person spends all the time with you and you are tired with the presence of this person and you want to run away. Yeah, but you manifested it. You asked for the situation where he is going to love you so much that he will never leave you. And actually, technically, he never leaves. So, thinking about those goals and thinking about being specific or not specific, we need to understand and embrace both sides of this relation of this situation. We need to embrace both parts of what is going to happen in this reality. So this is why vision to reality is 12 weeks, because on the span of 12 weeks, we get to shape new habits. We get to have challenges and obstacles and questions. On the span of 12 weeks, we really get to face all kinds of situations and we get to implement our desired plan. And once we start thinking and talking about vision to reality, there's one very important part when it comes to this 12-week program. In week number 1, you will have all the elements, like all the elements that you need to have to build a successful business. Because I don't want you to wait 12 weeks to have your first results. But once you start implementing the techniques, the strategies to remove the overwhelm and overthinking, all we need to do is to follow the guideline. And we are going to have the co-working sessions so that we are implementing together. And once something happens, when you have questions, you have direct support from me so that you can push yourself through the boundaries that used to stop you every single time you tried it before. Because, like, honestly, I don't believe that this is your first time you're trying to change your reality. There were others, right? And sometimes we failed. Sometimes we moved to a new shiny object. And sometimes life happened for us and we couldn't continue. Sometimes we didn't trust the process and we didn't finish the whole program, right? And sometimes we started asking questions, not because we wanted to ask questions, but actually we wanted to explain why we didn't implement. Because it's painful to feel that you invested so much and didn't get the results because of lack of implementation. And I know it because I've been in different programs where I didn't implement everything. I've been in different programs where I started eagerly and I wanted, but then everything happened and I didn't finish it. I didn't get the result, but I got the ROI. And the ROI was in the first program, too much is not good. When you provide too many information, it doesn't benefit your clients. It just overwhelms them and it prevents them from implementation. The second program made me understand How is it possible that 90% of people finish the program? And the truth was, it was nothing else but having the system of assignments. But the philosophy of this program was not to build our own competencies and ability to implement, but the program was all about leading our us through the program and holding our hands so tight that no one falls and having the or not having the results at the end. But it created the experience, and the experience was interesting. Then the next program, which was amazing, there were just six modules, just six. And all of them were very interesting and valuable, but we didn't have time to implement it because during the coaching calls, we were doing everything that was in the modules. And then when we started doing something different, like we didn't implement everything. The other program where I was, the first days were like hugely overwhelming. A lot of new things, new people, new topics, new challenges, new questions, new strategies, challenging onboarding system. And then in the middle of the program, everything started working perfectly. It was great. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was great. And now, almost finishing this program, I see that I didn't use everything that was in the program because I focused so much. I was so focused on the modules, which I didn't finish back then, that I didn't have time to watch the live sessions. And when I prioritized live sessions, I didn't do the modules. So now, if I started the new program with this awareness, it would look completely different because I'm a different person. But it took me experience to understand it. And the same happens over here in Vision to Reality. We started with a vision and with a plan. And then, on the span of those 12 weeks, we implement it because it's easier to implement it together. It's easier to be consistent when you're together. It's easier to see that it's worth implementing when there are different people together with you. And it's easier to implement when you have AI on your side, but the smart AI, not the one that slices your content and publishes everything just like that. Smart way to use AI is to combine your human power, your human brain, and your human soul with artificial intelligence so that you have the effect of synergy, where AI is supporting you and you support AI so that you build the business that you really desire to have. So if you want to get all the prompts for the second day and all the next days, drop the emoji below and I'm going to send you a link where you can access the prompts for today and you will receive materials onto your email from all the other days. If you have any questions, remarks, comments, please drop them in the comments. Share them in the comments. Ask the questions. I'm going to watch carefully if someone comments, who comments, and how can I help you. Sending you all the positive vibes across the digital ocean. And see you in the group.